What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's Gear News update on Dylan Talks Tone. We have Gear News updates on Wednesday. We have live streams on Thursday, and we have cool tech videos on Monday. Also, we make pickups. DylanTalksTone.com. Make sure you check it out. All right, let's get into some news. Orally Sound. They have a new app called Songmaster. There's a bunch of these kind of apps out there that are basically like for beginners. You know, a lot of times you'll be able to open the app and you'll see the chords coming by and try to be able to learn a song. This is kind of, thunderstorm. This is kind of next level for intermediate and even advanced guitar players as well. You'll actually be able to drop an MP3 in there. It analyzes it using AI, and then you'll be able to slow it down to like 10% and then pitch adjust it. Also, be able to separate stems, so vocals, bass, guitar, to be able to learn different parts. So to really be able to break a song down, this is beyond just your basic kind of, transcription app. So I think there's a lot more to it, and it sounds pretty cool. Orally Sounds Songmaster. Rocket Audio has come out with, well, you can see what it is. Their Uni-verb, obviously by the font on the stomp box, you can tell what it's supposed to sort of be. And that is the Uni-vibe / chorus sort of thing, but also with a spring reverb in it. Supposedly the vibe section of this is supposed to be able to go a little bit faster, be able to be a little bit more usable, have a little bit more output. So a really good Uni-vibe section. And then of course you can have the reverb thing. It's also going to have a effects loop so that you can run them side by side, like separate. You don't have to run them cascaded or whatever. You can run them separate into your pedal board. So you kind of have two actual pedals in one here. This thing is pretty cool. Apparently this pedal was about 5 years in the making, and it's going to be somewhere around, I think, $449. Caroline Guitar Company, actually just right over there in South Carolina, right across the river from me, has a new pedal called the Crom, and this is basically a super tone bender sort of thing with a Conan the Barbarian sort of theme, and we'll get into that in just a second. But basically it's got a tweed style tone circuit on it that interacts with the gain, gives you a little bit more, less scooped sound with this fuzziness that this thing is going to be able to make, which is pretty cool. It's a neat pedal, and again, they've gone for, some pretty Conan-y sort of theme. So you got a helmet, you got a sword, and you got a mountain. So those are, the mountain is the tone, the sword is the gain, and the helmet is overall output control. So the Crom from Caroline Guitar Company. Fuzzes are cool. You should get one. Speaking of that, I'll put as much of the stuff as I can find in the news. Some of it's not out yet. Some of it's prototypes. We'll get to that in a minute. But some of the stuff I'll be able to find, and I'll put it in the description of the video. If you use those links, it does help out the channel just a little bit. Even if you don't buy anything, just go shop around and check it out. It'd be cool. The next thing is the Boss Katana. And I just realized this morning when I was putting this together that I have one of these over here, so I should try this. Maybe I'll do a video about it. They've got a new update for the Katana MK2, which I've got a MK250 sitting right there. A clone, improved IR cabs, which this thing definitely needed, fresh contour settings, and an additional solo EQ block. So actually a different effects block that you can put in there, which is really cool. So that'll make this thing better. I wonder what their clone sounds like. We'll have to try it. Yeah, I like that. So anyway, maybe I will do a video with that. I've got that thing. I've only used it a couple of times. It's brand new. So maybe we'll have to do another Katana MK2 video. Chicago Music Exchange and the Gibson Murphy Lab have gotten together. I think this might be the first time that the Murphy Lab part of the Gibson Custom Shop has gotten together with a particular shop to do like an exclusive thing. This is an SG Junior with a short, like Maestro style vibrato on it, and it's got a humbucker in it, and obviously you can see it's shell pink. This is a pretty cool guitar. I bet they sell all of them. I know you're thinking, oh, this is the dumbest thing ever. I really, really, really like this. I would rather it have been a P90, obviously, because I'm a P90 guy, but I think it's really cool. You can check them out at Chicago Music Exchange. This might be one worth getting. And that Murphy Lab stuff is pretty cool too. Cordoba has just come out with an electric nylon classical semi-hollow body guitar. So a chambered mahogany body with a really pretty spruce top on it. You can see it here. It's nylon, but here's the thing about it. They kind of are going down the middle with this whole nylon thing. So it's not an actual classical guitar setup. It's got a 16-inch radius, I think, instead of flat. And it also, the neck width is more, it's kind of shooting the middle between that big wide classical flat neck and a regular electric guitar neck to sort of get, I guess, more folks into playing this style of guitar. It's kind of, you know, like a hybrid between the two, which is pretty cool. I've got a video coming out about another company. I didn't actually review the guitar like this, but Close Guitars has something like this too, where you can get one of their acoustic guitars with nylon strings, but it's not a big wide nylon neck. It's more of a hybrid thing that you can actually, more of us anyway, can actually play, which I think is pretty cool. So this Cordoba thing is doing that. Of course, it's got all the electronics in it. Kind of reminds me of the Godin sort of thing. Pretty cool, and a decently reasonable price as well. Fender has released a Pro Junior, which is really cool. If you recall the Pro Junior from before, it was a little tweed thing, 10-inch Jensen speaker. Now it's got a Fender designed speaker. They say it's tighter and better. 15 watts, so you're gonna have two 12AX7s and two EL84s, I think. And basically, yeah, somewhere around 15 watts with a 10-inch speaker, really small, somewhere around $550 for a tube amp, which is really cool. If you've never played one of these things, I got a buddy who gigs a lot, and for many, many years, that would be his little grab and go amp, and you just turn it all the way to 12. It's got a volume and a tone, that's it. And you just dime the thing and just play it. It's really, really good. It's not super loud for smaller venues, and it's not super loud for home. And because it's only 15 watts, you can get it kind of dirty without being ridiculously loud. It's a really cool little amp. I would definitely recommend getting your hands on one of these if tube amps are still your thing, and if you really want to try one for, I mean, $549 I think is what these things cost, is definitely worth it. Really cool. This is something I've been following and wondering for a while because, let's face it, I have a little bit of a man crush on this particular dude. John 5, probably my favorite modern alive guitar player. He's just really, really incredible. Really versatile, can do a bunch of stuff. Anyway, he's been kind of teasing, playing, I follow him on Instagram, his apparently next signature model guitar. And they're gonna call it the Ghost. It has a white neck, red pickups. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely for me. It will be on the wall. I promise I'm gonna get one of these things. Really, really cool guitar. DiMarzio pickups. There's no details about when it's gonna come out, but it's coming. And he says in the press release and some of the stuff on Instagram that it's not just going to be a custom shop model, that everybody's going to be able to buy it. So I'm really excited about it. I really like John 5. And besides a build that we did here on the channel a few months ago, or last year or something, no, it was just a few months ago, I've never really had a John 5. We built somebody else's John 5, but I've never really had one. So I'm really excited. I want to get one of these things. Fender is doing some cool stuff. Let me tell you about some more. The Fender Acoustasonic thing has been insane. They're selling pretty much as many of them as they can build. The American ones, the Mexico ones. Fender CEO Andy Mooney says that they're going to go to Indonesia or Asia. They say Asia, but it's probably going to be Indonesia. And they're going to build more. And Little Bird told me that there's another version coming out, a little different thickness and stuff. Well, let's just say that's a rumor. How about that? So they're really going all in on this Acoustasonic thing. Andy Mooney says that getting one under $1,000 is really important. It makes sense because a lot of people want these things but don't want to spend the the 2,000 bucks of the American one. There's no details on when they're going to come out. We'll obviously keep an eye on this because these things are hot. And if you haven't tried one in an actual situation, I think you definitely should. They're really, really a useful tool. A lot of people don't like how they look, but they are very useful and very cool. We'll have to see when they come out. If they came out with an under $1,000 one, would you buy one? Because that seems to be the biggest hang up for a lot of people is, I want one, kind of, but not bad enough to spend what they cost now. I mean, they're kind of cool, but not cool enough to spend that much. Would you get an Asian one if it was under $1,000 and, you know, more affordable like that? Let me know in the comments if that's something you would do. I think they're pretty, it's a great idea, in my opinion. I also want to remind you that we are still in Fender wide range season. So we have the deal where you can go to the link in the description. You can send in your wide range pickups. We've actually got some starting to show up now that people, we're rewinding them, we're changing all the parts inside and turning them into something really, really cool. I think you are going to dig these pickups when you get them back. So if you have a Squier wide range, or if you have a Made in Mexico wide range and you don't like how they sound, send them in. We've got a video about it. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well, and as well as all the other stuff that we have this week, as much of it as I can find anyway. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button, and check us out on Thursday for our live stream Q&A thing. That's been really fun lately. There's been a lot of new people, and I've really, really enjoyed hanging out with y'all on Thursdays. I'm actually thinking about adding another live stream. We'll just have to see about that. I've got an idea for it, so that might be a thing. Not really sure. Might have to. We'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.